Alright guys, welcome to This Week in Wrestling, covering everything that's gone on over the course of this past week, a week in which it was revealed that Vince McMahon previously challenged UFC President Dana White to a fight at WrestleMania. According to Dave Meltzer, Vince issued the challenge to Dana for WrestleMania 27 that would see the pair wrestle a match. However, Dana declined the offer and Vince followed it up with another offer to see the pair go one-on-one fighting in the UFC. However, Dana also declined that offer. Speaking about the proposed fight, Dana said Vince is too old, which he won't think he is and he'll go crazy, and he wanted to fight one time. Vince wanted to fight me, swear to God, called me up and said let's do it, we can either do it in the UFC or let's do it at WrestleMania, and I said you're crazy. I always have said it and I'll say it again, I respect Vince very much, but Vince is too old to be fighting anybody. Vince is 70 something years old, all the respect in the world to the guy, he's done great stuff, he's a maniac, a legit maniac. He literally calls me one day and says, hey, how about you and I fight in the UFC or we can wrestle in the WWE. Either way, I'm like, you're a maniac. So there we go, unfortunately we missed out on the spectacle that would be Vince versus Dana at WrestleMania, or even inside the Octagon, but in this week's question of the week we're asking who would win in a shoot fight between the two? Would it be Dana White or the legitimate maniac that is Vince McMahon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Switching focus to two of WWE's latest signings, and it was previously reported that both Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson were set to make their NXT debut later this month. However, in an update on the pair, it's now been reported that those plans have been shelved, and instead the pair is set to head straight to the main roster around the time of WrestleMania 32. The report states that the pair is set to use the Balor Club name or the recently debuted Bulletproof name, meaning it's likely a main roster debut for the pair will also see NXT champion Finn Balor make the step up. Speaking of making the step up, according to reports, Sami Zayn is also scheduled to wrestle at WrestleMania this year, with WWE also listing him for the annual post-WrestleMania tour of Europe. So it appears that Zayn too is destined for the main roster after he was set to transition over last year, with plans were dropped after he suffered an injury in his Raw debut with John Cena. Staying with the European tour and also listed for the overseas shows is none other than The Undertaker, which appears to confirm that he'll be sticking around for a little bit post-WrestleMania this year, with Taker advertised to appear at shows in London, Newcastle, Brussels, Paris and Malaga, where he's set to team with the Big Show to take on Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. In the meantime, as we head towards WrestleMania, WWE hits a roadblock with the WWE Network airing a special live show next Saturday, in which it was announced that Brock Lesnar will be taking on Bray Wyatt one-on-one in a match that up until Fastlane, everyone including myself thought would take place at WrestleMania. Also announced for the show is Dean Ambrose going one-on-one with Triple H for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, along with a surprise addition of Dash and Dawson defending the NXT Tag Team Championships against Enzo Amore and Big Cass. So could this move be a way for WWE to see what kind of reaction Enzo and Cass get before the rumoured main roster debut? It seems like a good way to test the waters. Finally, this week's last story sees reports that WrestleMania 33 will take place at the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida next year, with a WWE source saying an official announcement could come as soon as next week. So WrestleMania in Florida and Disney World, I think it's time I started planning a holiday. So that wraps up This Week in Wrestling, but let me know your thoughts on this week's show and all the stories in the comments. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, a like is greatly appreciated. I hope you all have a great weekend, and until next time, I'll catch you later.